we're all freaking out.
Yeah.
Like imagine that, like a small town freaking filmmaker, freaking on the big screen,
Yeah.
and when they showed that, I was proud, bro.
Yo,
Like
it gotta
I
be
felt
busy.
so
Yeah.
accomplished. Like that was the best thing, knowing that we're showcasing the islands to millions of people, tens of millions of people that are watching,
Mm-hmm.
and what they're seeing is what I shot.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's badass.
That's fucking solid, bro.
If I did this for the money, if I did this for the money, it's Hazzy. If I did this for the money, would've gave up long ago. It's the passion and the drive buried deep down in my soul. It's ambition, I'm too hungry, I ain't never getting full. On a mission, it's a battle, locked and loaded, bulletproof. On my mission, on the way to the top. Got my whole team strapped, we prepared for the odds. Entire life I've been the underdog, odds against me. Mama, look at me now, I'm ferocious and filthy. I'm a pit.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Nesian Built Podcast. Hey, this is the podcast of Pacific Islanders telling our stories and our lessons to help you on yours. Today is episode 18.
Mm-hmm.
Got episode 18, baby, and we have a special fucking guest. Man, I've been trying to get this dude on here for a while, and he's finally out here in the state of Washington with us, and glad that he's fucking here to tell his stories because I know it's going to be a fucking good one. Welcome to the podcast, brother. Denton Pangelinan.
Yes,
Let's go,
sir.
baby.
Hey, first of all, I just want to say thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I love to be here. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this goes. We're gonna be
Yeah.
talking and everything. So
Yeah.
it'll be dope.
Yeah, usually you're not on the mic. Usually you're behind the camera.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I prefer it that way too. So
Hey, I'm fucking glad you're here, bro. I've known you since high school, and you're a fucking good dude, and you fucking been doing a lot. The one thing that I do know is I love seeing my people win, and we're gonna get to that. We're not gonna talk about that yet. We're gonna get into it, but first question I want to ask you, just to break the ice a little bit, what is your favorite island food, and when's the last time you had it?
yeah, my favorite island food. What is my favorite
You
island
got
food?
me with this last time.
Nah,
It just
nah,
comes out
I'm
of nowhere. That's
thinking.
why I like it. It just comes out of nowhere. It's like, fuck, I gotta pick.
Honestly, I think it's the chicken Kellywood, bro. Yeah.
Hey,
Chicken curry.
And I had it right before I came back to Washington. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my commodities, she made it for me, and
Mhm.
it's like, damn, fuck, it's so good. But then also, I can't say, but I mean, like Galaxy too.
Oh, yeah.
Galaxy's chicken Kellywood. Oh my god,
Bro,
you never go wrong with
yeah,
that.
you can't, bro. It's the fucking just the mix of the Titijas and the Kellogg's.
Oh, yeah.
fucking so good, bro. But chicken Kellogg's
that's a good
from
pick.
fucking Galaxy.
Now you got me.
It's out of nowhere. Hey, bro, all right, that was just a little fucking icebreaker. But I've known you for a long time, bro, and I fucking seen your journey and what you've been going through, and everything that you've been doing, especially for the island of Saipan. But let's go ahead and start from the beginning. Tell people a little bit about yourself, what you do, and all that.
Yeah, for sure. Hi everyone. My name is Denton Pangelinan. I am a photographer / filmmaker. I do a lot of photos and videos. Basically a lot for like commercial, personal business. Did a lot of weddings. I'm not in the wedding industry anymore. I don't see myself ever going back to it anymore. But yeah, been traveling back and forth, man. Been going to Saipan every year.
Yeah.
Feels like forever,
Yeah.
and finally I'm back. So yeah, but that's pretty much like in general what I do is a lot of like filmmaking. So
Okay. Yeah. I remember back in high school, we were like basically in the same crew, right? And we came up with the Tsuku Crew song, and it was Denton that produced it. I wrote down the lyrics, and I got the lyrics and everything. We had our boy Ty come in and went to my room, and we recorded that whole thing. But yeah, he was the one that produced the whole fucking the whole
Like a rap
audio.
song?
Yeah, it's a rap song.
Of course.
Stupid ass little
Of
kids,
course,
bro.
yeah.
But it was
For
tight. It
real.
was there. But yeah, bro. Let's go back to fucking back in high school, or let's start from high school. Like when was. Because even I bring that up because I know you were already getting into it around that time. So like, what was it that kind of like made you feel like
What inspired you
video?
first?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
got you into like doing video and photography and stuff like that?
Yeah, for sure. I literally always felt like I had a creative side, you know,
Yeah,
and
I seen that shit
I
too.
wanted
Yeah.
to like explore that a little bit. So I tried doing Photoshop.
Mhm.
I remember this very clearly. It's like Twinkle. I did a picture of myself. I freaking took my whole body, put it like in the ocean. Fucking had this I don't know some Photoshop
Yeah.
shit. But I think what really got I when I really felt it like I really enjoyed it was we had shit, I forgot what it's called, but JRTC, we used to have this annual like things where they come in and like they check the whole JRTC.
Like
Forgot what it's called.
inspection or
Yeah,
something.
like an inspection pretty
Yeah.
much. And I was in charge of creating the video, like a video PowerPoint pretty much.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, when I was creating it, yeah, I felt very
Like you
creative.
You enjoyed it. Like
I
you
enjoyed it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Putting the music together, putting the slideshow together with photos and videos, and that's when I really like felt it. Like I'm like, oh shit, I really enjoy this shit.
Yeah. So like right after that, so
Yeah.
would you start like after you did that and started realizing like, oh, I fucking really like this shit. Like what'd you start doing after that to like start to keep feeding that,
Man, that's the thing. That's the thing. You know, like we'll talk about it a little bit more, but when I had a meeting with a producer, one of the things that where I messed up was I didn't hone that skills at the time.
Uh-huh.
I actually compressed it, but I put it aside, and
Yeah.
you know, I mean, like, you know, bro, like back home, it's like it's not like a very unconventional thinking.
Yeah.
Where it's all like, hey, you're gonna go to college, you're gonna go to the military,
Yeah.
you're either gonna be a fireman, a policeman, kind of thing, you
Yeah,
know. So
yeah.
I put that aside, not thinking that it could create money, you know,
Yeah.
or something in that aspect. So I actually shoved it aside, bro, and I ended up freaking joining the military. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I realized that. Like how long were you were you in the Army for?
I was in the Army for almost 9 years,
9
and then
years.
I got out.
What year did you get in?
I got in 2010.
2010.
Yeah, so right
Okay.
after high school, I
Yeah.
moved to Hawaii, and I was going to college for a little bit, but
You said fuck this.
I fucked up.
Oh shit! Being a fucking island boy in the big
Yeah.
island, just fucking wilding out.
Where I fucked up was I didn't realize that if you walk out of college, like class, the instructor, the professor wouldn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't say anything.
Yeah.
The moment I did that, bro, it was all over for me, bro. Like I just started walking out of class anytime
okay.
I didn't feel like going to, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I started like failing all my courses. So I was like, oh man, I can't do this shit.
Oh, because
So,
you like realize like it's
Yeah.
you have your independence. You can
Yeah,
make your own
exactly.
decisions. Like if the teacher's not gonna stop me, I'm gonna do what I
Yeah,
want.
exactly.
I don't have
So-
to be here. So
yeah, I ended up fucking started failing, and I was like, man, okay, I gotta do something. So
Yeah.
I started joining the military. I joined the military, bro.
all right. So let's talk about that a little bit. I know we had the same MOS.
Yeah.
We were the same MOS. We were both 19 Delta Scouts.
Scout.
Yeah, baby. But tell us about that. Like, what was it? What was the military for you? What was it like? What was your experiences? Stuff like that.
It was the military was amazing, bro.
Yeah.
It's I'm never gonna forget like everything that I experienced and the knowledge that I gained from
Yeah.
the military. So I joined in 2010, and mind you, island boy.
Yeah.
Right after high school, I moved to a bigger island. Never came to the stateside, right? So after when I got stationed in El Paso, Texas, and that one was the learning curve for me, bro. That was the biggest learning experience that I've ever felt because I was not close to any locals. There was no locals that in
that
Texas,
area,
yeah, in that area. So I ended up like making friends with a very diverse group of people, and
yeah.
I learned to fucking do my own laundry. I learned to cook, you
Yeah.
know, like, so that's the experience that I gained there. And that's where I learned everything. That's where alcohol was a thing. And
Yeah.
tried different sorts of drugs kind of thing. But, other than that, right after Texas, I moved to Hawaii, and that's where I met like a lot of locals. And that's actually where I met my compadre and my comadre, and got stationed in Hawaii. And yeah, it was from there. It's like more also for family.
Yeah.
That's where my son was born, Damien.
Yeah.
And then and then I got stationed in JBLM in here
Yeah.
in Washington. So I was I planned or not planned, but I knew that it was time for me to get out. That's for
Mhm.
sure. Um, and the reason why I say that is because in 2013 I was doing like a lot of like drone stuff.
Yeah.
Now that's when 2013 is when I really started like getting into the creative side of me.
Yeah.
2013 I started flying drones. Same thing 2014, and then I got so into it that I ended up being a master instructor for the Raven, bro, for those small
Yeah.
UAVs and
Yeah. Yeah.
then yeah,
Yeah.
and then I enjoyed it so much that when I came here, it was time for me to get out.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I wanted to hone those skills. I wanted to gain the experience and
Mhm.
the military. I love the military, but it does hold you back on a lot of personal endeavors that you
Yeah.
want to accomplish.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, it's time to get out. I
Yeah.
ended up getting out
Yeah.
in 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you when you were getting out, you already knew what you wanted to do. Like
yeah,
you already had the idea of what you wanted to get into.
yes,
Right. So and it's crazy because a lot of people just don't have that, that process working for them.
yeah,
Like I know when I was getting out, I had no fucking idea what I was gonna do, bro. Like I was
Just find your purpose
yeah,
again.
I had to basically
Yeah.
find my purpose again. Like the military was everything to me at that time. Like I loved that lifestyle. I loved that it was hard. I loved doing all that that shit that normal people weren't willing to do, right?
yeah,
I loved that part of it. And then when I got out, it was very hard for me to accept that I was just gonna do normal shit again. Like that was a hard part for me. But I'm glad that there are some of us that get out and realize there's
yeah,
something out there for me that I'd rather do than to be here. And you took on your opportunity to do that, and you build the skills while you're in there, which is one of
yeah,
the best things, right? Like you can gain skills. Like some people like will shit on the army like after they get out, right? Like I don't want the army's this and that, but I know I was like one of them towards the end, but I started realizing like I gained so much from them. I
yeah,
didn't even realize like how much I learned in the military, bro, until somebody asked me about something. And then the way I explained it is like I'm a fucking subject matter expert, and I don't even fucking realize it, bro, until
yeah,
I start talking about it. Like fuck. Like normal people don't know about most of this shit,
yeah,
right? But I like that, I think it's really cool, bro, when people can come out and they just jump back into they jump into their actual
yeah.
passion. You were able to do that with the skills also that you built from the army.
Bro, the one thing that the military taught me that I still stand by is they always told me, my first sergeant always told me like hey, you gotta hope for the best and expect the worst.
Yep.
And that is I live by that by the day,
Yeah.
because like no matter what, right? You hope for the best. Like for example, you have a goal, right? You're
Mhm.
hoping for the best, but you're expecting the worst.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't work out, you're already expecting the worst. So you cannot put yourself. You can't. You're not, you don't feel like a failure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you knew that there was a chance that you're expecting the worst
Yeah.
pretty much. So
Yeah.
It doesn't catch you off
yeah,
guard.
it doesn't
Yeah.
catch you
Yeah.
off guard. You're already prepared for it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I always stand for, bro.
Yeah.
Hope for the best, expect the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so I stand with that shit too, right?
Mm.
But I'm a big person when it comes to I'm big on being prepared for shit. So the better prepared I am, like the more I look into something, the more I research something, the more I do something
Yeah.
to be prepared for a certain moment or a situation. When that situation goes to shit, I can still drive on.
Yeah.
Because I'm prepared. I have backup plans. I
Yeah.
have experience from other things that I've done,
Mhm.
or from working so much or working in that process so much that I know there's a different route to
Yeah.
continue. Right? You can keep working on it, even though you might have a setback. You can figure out a way to keep going.
Yeah.
Right? There's always shit that can happen. I remember like the funeral detail. That was one of the craziest things for me. Like, I was still a private when I was on funeral detail, and a lot of times when you go up, it's very. I mean, you have a lot of people watching you right at these things, and it's very emotional for these
Yeah.
people that are there, and we're there to do a job and do a good job. And I remember like we would go out there. Our first couple ones, the flag was upside down on the caskets and stuff like that, and we have to figure out on the spot how do we flip this around, this flag around, and it's something we've never practiced, right? Especially the first couple ones, something we never practiced. And it's like that same thing. You hope for the best, but
Yeah.
expect the worst. But we didn't prepare for that. So we ended up just doing what we normally did. And then we had to, which is a shitty part, but we had to actually ask the spouse or, whoever was receiving the flag for that, that fallen soldier.
Mm.
we had to ask for it back afterwards so that we can unfold it and refold it correctly for them. And or we would just, bro, it was so much like, it's a little stressful, you know, just because you're in front of people. Stressful. But like shit happens, right? But yeah, bro. I think back at that, it was just, you know, one of those fucking those things. Yeah, it's just, that's just really what it is. But yeah, bro, fucking. So you fucking went military, got, you know, you got the Raven instructor experience, got out, and you got out in 2013?
2018.
2018.
When I got
out. Shit, yeah, you got in 2013. But 2018 you got out, and you stayed here in Washington?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. Sorry. So before I got out, bro, I went to Saipan in 2016, and then I went to, when I knew I was gonna get out in 2017, I went back to Saipan and I was exploring the market back home.
Yeah.
So when I went home, I started asking questions like, "Hey, who's the photographers here? What businesses do it here?" And at that time there was only 2 people that were doing it. One called Cello Photos by Sylvan.
We actually took pictures with him.
Yeah. And then the other wedding photographer, Lauren Benson, but she left Saipan already.
Okay.
So I felt that it was the time to go back home because I was able to, you know, like I wanted to gain the experience. Because out here it's like they do it more so like reviews, right? Like they look at the reviews and all of that. Back home it's more like a word to mouth kind of thing, you know. So yeah, I came back and I talked to Rita and I was like, "Hey, I think it's time we go home for 2 years." I gave myself 2 years to gain the experience and then come back, you know. And then right before I got out, 1 year before I got out in 2017, I ended up going to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh online. And that's when I was honing my skills, bro. Like that's where I learned all the basics. And I was watching this masterclass with Martin Scorsese. So he's a director, right? For in the film industry, and he was like
old
saying,
school gangster movies.
Yeah. And he was saying in his masterclass, like, you can go to school and learn the basics, but you cannot do anything other than you have to have hands-on, you know. When it comes to filmmaking, at least. So that's what I did. I went online to the Art Institute, did all the whole like basic stuff, you know, like how to control camera manually and the right composure, exposure, composition, all that. And then right after that, I got out and got out of that school, got out of the military, and we were on our way to Saipan. For
That's
2 weeks.
Fucking great. So you learn the basics in there, but like your instructor said, right? You have to fucking do the shit.
Yeah, it's all hands on.
It's all hands on. But wait a minute, bro. How the fuck do you know that? Like, how you know that guy, bro?
Oh,
the guy he's talking about.
Martin Scorsese.
Yeah,
just for movies. He. What's the most recent one he did with the? With all the old school gangsters again.
Yeah, fuck. See, now I'm forgetting.
It was like 2 or 3 hours.
It's long. An Irish movie.
With Robert De Niro.
Like The Irishman or something like that.
Yeah, there it is. That's the one. Yeah.
Martin Scorsese is one of the biggest directors in film industry.
No shit.
Yeah,
sorry. I don't know names like that. I just don't know names. Never remember names like that.
It's just YouTube, bro. I just watch YouTube. I heard his name a couple times. I'm just trying to relate, okay?
Yeah, I was like, when you said, oh yeah. I was like, what? How the fuck does he know this guy? All right. But shit, so you basically went back to Saipan, then got into your thing. I mean, after honing skills, getting the little basics that you needed, right, to do your thing back home. And so, like, how did you start up back home? Like, what did you start doing to like get into the market, right, and let everybody know like Denton's here?
Yeah. The one thing I knew that was gonna be so important was networking, bro. And you know, networking is such a big thing in any business that, you know, like a lot of people don't really realize, I guess. Like for people that are coming into, you know, into the game or like trying out businesses, is networking is so important. So I started talking to my family, did some free photo shoots and stuff, you know, just like advertise it pretty much. And then I got lucky because Sylvan Cello Photos, they reached out to us and they brought us in, bro, and you know, they took us in. We did some weddings with them, and that was in 2018. And yeah, what had happened was Typhoon U2 hit in 2018. So 3 months after we got back home, and I was shattered, bro. I was like, I thought like we're not gonna go anywhere because Typhoon U2, that's one of the biggest typhoons, and I was like, man, it's gonna take a while to rebuild. So I think, business wise, we're not gonna do good.
Yeah.
And then I reached out after Typhoon U2 in November. I reached out to Tribe Marianas, and I was like, hey, you wanna can we have a meeting? So I had a meeting with them to shoot their products, and yeah, it it fucking skyrocketed from there, bro. And that's the networking stuff, you know what I mean? And we started shooting their photos, videos, everything like that. And in December of that year, Beach Road Magazine reached out, and they're like, hey, we're doing a 2019 calendar, and we want you to shoot it, right? So yeah, we were working on that for that whole calendar for 2019, and bro, from there in January,
He's just working, grinding.
It was a blessing.
Yeah.
even me, like when I was telling Rita, I was like, dude, I cannot believe like we're skyrocketing when Typhoon U2 just hit, And I was expecting a downfall for us for a while, but yeah, people started reaching out to us, wedding clients, family portraits, pretty much, and the only reason why I got into wedding though is because a lot of this, besides like the basics and stuff, they're all self-taught, like when it comes to like filmmaking and photos,
this experience,
it's all self-taught. It's all hands-on. And I was watching a video from this guy, he's called Peter McKinnon, one of he's like a big YouTuber for like creatives for videos.
Oh yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah. And he was saying that yeah, he was saying that wedding is one of the best industry to get into when you're starting off with like doing photos and filmmaking, because wedding has every single thing in the like category wise that you can hone your skills in, right? So wedding is like, dude, it's lifestyle, it's one shot and done kind of thing. You miss the shot, that's it, And then for video wise, you can be as creative as you can, but with a certain story. So by certain story, what I mean is like, you can have so much wedding clients, it's all the same story. They're gonna get married and live happily ever after. It's how you're gonna create that in different ways that makes one video different from the other. And so we got into wedding after that, and it was done, bro. We kind of exploded with that. Like a lot of people were coming to us for videos and stuff. So
so you're like using the wedding work for just getting like more experience, building, learning more about what you like, kind of thing.
How many people were when you did a wedding? How many people you normally have?
We
Especially
usually
doing photos and videos.
Dude, it's hard for two. So props to the team for like people that go for like for like two. But when we went, it was me, Rita. We had one guy, Carlo, and then we started doing hiring freelancers pretty much. So every time we do weddings, it's like we have like a team of 5 or 6.
Okay.
But it also depends, because some clients, they just want photos. Some clients, they just want videos. So depending on that, we'll have anywhere from 3 to 5. Yeah. If they require photos and videos, then we have like 5, 6 people in the team.
That's crazy.
And you guys like plan and discuss beforehand what it's gonna look like, or everybody kind of just goes and does their own thing?
I just go with the flow.
I was about to say, because like like everybody just capture as much shit as you can capture, right? And then you just kind of put it together.
That's how it was. But I learned that that's not the best way to do it. It's great to have so many shots, because that's extra shots, but at the same time, it's so time consuming when it comes to the post-production. And nobody talks about this, but the post-production is the hardest part of the whole editing, and making a video or photos, And it got to the point where we started planning shots, but we used to go with the flow, and then we started planning shots like, I want this shot, I want that shot, I want this angle, all that.
Because that helps in the back end.
Helps a lot, bro. That cut down our usage for our SD cards, bro, from 128 gigabytes, right? we would cut that down to like 10 gigabytes or less,
Oh,
like
damn.
Yeah,
or because we already have the shots that we need.
yeah,
There's no point in shooting extra shots
Yeah.
that we're not gonna use.
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
You already know you're not gonna
Yeah.
use. Yeah. That's
That is when I do the videos too. It's like the more I was just telling him this morning. It's like the more footage and stuff we have, the longer it takes. It's like
Yeah.
because this looks good, but then so does this look. So
Yeah,
does this, and
exactly.
then you put it down. You gotta watch it. Watch it. And
Mhm.
like tweak it. So yeah, it's a lot. It's work, man.
Yeah, and
That makes
then
sense.
just imagine like when we do weddings, right? We have 4 cameras for videos.
Mhm.
We got 4 cameras running. We have 3 a main camera, second, third cam, and a creative cam.
Mhm.
And then imagine just all 4 cameras shooting at once for that whole day,
yeah.
and then going back into the post production, and you're
Yeah,
like
all of that footage.
you're
yeah.
looking at all of that footage.
Yeah.
Thankfully, there's like there's a software called Plural Eyes that it'll sync all your videos together. So
Mhm.
like you just put it like in a line, and then it'll sync the audio.
Mhm.
That
Oh.
way, it's like
Damn.
and then you can cut.
What's the name of that
you
again?
can cut Plural Eyes. Yeah,
You gotta pay for that? Is that free or no?
you gotta pay for it. But
sorry.
yeah, you sync it syncs all the videos, so from top to bottom kind of thing, and you can just choose what you want to do. But
Yeah.
still, you're taking like hours of video footage, and then you're trying to see what. So out of that freaking 8 hours you're shooting for a full cam, right? Because we always have that camera running. For a full 8 hours of shooting, you're only selecting like a 5-second, 10-second clip
Yeah.
that you're gonna use.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, oh man, yeah, we have to cut this down a little bit because that's like a lot of editing.
So do you guys have like everybody in your team, like when you guys are doing like, let's say it's a wedding, right? You guys all have the same equipment? Or you guys all using the same type of equipment, or is this everybody like somebody have some different equipment to get certain types of video or certain types of
So
pictures?
everyone has their own equipment,
Mhm.
but that's even harder. If you have if you have Canon and Sony running at the same time,
Yeah.
the color is not gonna match. So that was one of the hardest parts when we were starting off. Is everybody had like different freaking
like color profiles and stuff
color
like that?
profiles, and you can have the same color profiles, but even if you have the same one on a Canon and the same one on a
It's still
Sony,
different, yeah.
the color
'Cause
is
they use
still gonna be different.
sensors.
Yeah. So what we did was we started reinvesting. We reinvested, bro. I'm not ashamed to say it. I was broke the whole
Yeah.
first year of
It's
freaking
fucking business is hard, bro.
yeah.
It's
Whole first year
Yeah.
of doing all wedding videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we reinvested everything back into the business, so we ended up getting cameras, Sony cameras, and from there we just stuck to Sony stuff, and it was a lot easier when it comes to like anything we create, bro,
Yeah.
because the color profiles, the color correction, everything matches.
Mhm.
You're not messing with 2 different cameras, kind of thing.
So you have your team, right? How'd you go about building, and like how'd you like select or like choose the people that you would work well with, or like that whole thing, there's a certain dynamic. Like you have to work with people that are good people, like you have the same values as you, want to put out good quality, like production like you do. So, and making sure that these people will like hold themselves accountable to that. So like how you choose that, how did you go about that for your team?
Yeah, so it was all thanks to Cello Photos for real. We when they ended up moving, we hired one of their staff, Carlo. And this guy is a creative. This guy is crazy too, bro. His story, I don't know why he never talks about it, but this guy is also a filmmaker, and he had the opportunity to shoot for Nat Geo, bro. Like, hell. Like even when he told me, I was like, what the fuck? You didn't tell me this shit, But he had the opportunity to go to like Africa, South America, like shit to shoot, And so me and him, bro, our like work ethic, I loved it so much. The way we handled stuff together was crazy because our creative mind was pretty much the same. Where like if I'm editing something, I can stop and he can take over, and he'll know exactly what I want. You know what I mean? So it's like that dynamic duo, that 1-2 punch kind of thing. And we ended up having him on the team, and man, it worked very very well. The flow was so easy when it came to the editing portion. And then we also met Ken Camacho, another photographer now back home. He's actually big. He's dope, bro. And we hired him just like freelancer, so he does like a lot of the photos too, but he can do videos.
Mm-hmm.
But normally when I hire like others to come in to help shoot, they just shoot, pretty much shoot and run, and I'll take it all and edit it, and me and Carlo would be the one to, like edit the videos and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. But it was, I heavily relied on Carlo because Carlo was my go-to guy when I needed something done, because the visions that I had, he was able to put it together,
because you felt like he saw it the same way you saw it,
yeah,
or like he could put it together the same way you wanted
right,
to put it together. That's fucking tight though. I mean, that's hard to find. That's really hard to find, especially when it comes to something like that, bro. Like there's everybody, like especially visionaries, bro. And you're a fucking visionary and you have certain vision for something. Not everybody can pick that shit up, bro. Not everybody can pick that shit up,
And then Rita too, bro. Rita too was a big part of the when we first started. She does a lot of creative videos too. So she was doing the creative side, and even her, she can edit too. So
was Rita like always on that kind of stuff, like videography and photography? Was she always on that, or did that kind of like
Snapchat.
something? Snapchat queen?
No, I'm just kidding. But I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
You get in trouble, boy.
No, but she was more so into videos, but it was all through her camera. I mean, sorry, her phone.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until she met me, and that's when she started learning how to use the camera and stuff.
Diving
but
deeper.
As far as the creative side, she's really creative.
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes I get mad at her. I'm like, why don't you tap into your creative side? Because with her, it's like I don't know what's stopping her from. She's very creative. That's for sure. Like the way she can edit videos, the way she can direct videos or come up with shots that are needed.
Yeah.
She's really good at it, but I just don't think it's her path. The path that she wants to do. So I'm not gonna force it on her, but if she ever decides, she's creative enough to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. Like that, and then I mean, just being around people like that. You guys have like the same kind of, interests and stuff like that, and the same kind of passions. But I noticed like you guys would go on a lot of hikes. I swear that I would think that's so crazy, bro. And I would see these guys like his social media and stuff. Bro, they're going so far out there. They're hiking to all these crazy places, and they have content in all these different places, bro. Like deep in the fucking forest, deep in the mountain, or high up in the fucking mountains, like all this stuff, bro. Like, what got you into doing all that, like the hiking stuff and everything, like going to get content out there?
Yeah, so it's all gonna go back to when I first came out here, and I talk a lot about it. So don't worry, you can leave it in, But what happened was in 2017 when I came here. That was my rock bottom. I hit fucking rock bottom like a motherfucker. I was depressed. I was alone, and then I was like, that's what really got me into the creative side, because that was my light, And what happened was, I was fucking depressed and everything, and I attempted suicide, but it was just like pills and stuff. But thankfully, I'm still here, and thankfully I found something that can keep me out of trouble, which was the photography and videography side, And what happened was when I survived that, and the only people that I had by my side was my first sergeant, and like I felt like there was something that I had to do to get out of this mindset. So what I did was I sold, and I tell this story all the time. I sold my PS4, I sold my TV, and I had a camera and a drone that I had from Hawaii. It's like, I'm gonna do this, bro. And what I did was I started hiking. I did hike everything alone, bro. And for the first few times, and then that's when Anne reached out to me, and she's like, "Hey, I noticed you love hiking, and my sister's here, and she loves hiking too." So I reached out to Rita. I reached out to her, and I was like, "Hey, I'm here in Saipan, and I'm here in Washington, and I heard you like to hike. I'm wondering if you want to go hike too." So that's how we met, bro. That's the first time we actually like met. Like I've only seen her in high school, but I've never like talked to her. When we first linked up to hike, Margaret's Way or something, like Margaret's Trail or something like that. It was like we were meant to be kind of thing. Like, imagine like I never talked to her in high school, but when we met up, it's like we've been best friends. You know, like there was no awkwardness, there was no quiet time. There was never a dull moment, pretty much. And yeah, from there, bro, we just started hiking, bro. And I was taking photos and the videos and stuff. Before I used to love just going to hikes just to take photos and videos. And then it got to a point where like we're gonna make this a workout kind of thing, you know. So if we don't go for miles, we go for elevation. And the higher the elevation, the better. It's more of a workout. And if we don't feel like doing like elevation, then we'll go for miles. You know, so yeah, that's how we started.
Oh, that's crazy, you know. Like, but just go. I just want to hit back on the, you know, the depression stuff and everything, because like we know right now these days, you know, mental, what do you call that?
Your mental wellness.
Mental health, yeah, there you go.
Mental health.
Mental health is a big thing nowadays, you know, and the thing that, you know, because I go through my own shit too, right? But and everybody has their own thing going on, and the thing for me is, I believe there's so much focus on the mental health issues, and people just want to talk about it. They want, you know, they just want to, and it's kind of like a victim mentality, you know, and that's the thing that I for myself, try to stay as far away from as possible. I don't want anybody feeling sorry for me, shit like that, right? And I'm not saying that anybody, like, there's all these people that talk about it do, but there are certain people that they want a highlight on them for that they're going through something, right? But for me, when you go through stuff like that, like when which is basically what you did, right? Is when you're going through a hard time, when you're going through that mental, you know, hardship, finding something to help combat that, you know, not sitting in it and just bathing in the hard stuff and just feeling sorry for yourself all the time, right? Like I know it's tough to get out of it. I know that it's hard, and it doesn't even sound like it's a thing you would want to do in that moment, to, you know, is to get up, go out, do something, fix it. That's not what you want to do, right? But I think if people sometimes, like, because this is what I do for myself when I go through what is making me feel this way, right? What is so hard about it, right? But then to get my mind off of it, or to try to, you know, rebuild confidence or something like that, right? I just go work. Like, I just put in work. I do something that I know makes me feel good chemically, you know, like working out and stuff like that. Like, just finding a solution, you know, staying busy, you know, finding my passion, whatever it is that's going to help me get through that. That's what I'm going to try to do, right? Instead of just sitting and talking about it and thinking about it, just constantly thinking about it, because that just runs people to the ground, man. That's one of the hardest parts. And I know you've been through it, right? But then look at you instead, you know, and that's the thing. It's like a blessing, right? And it's like a lot of times people have to hit rock bottom before they can fucking climb that mountain and be at the top of that mountain and be like, I fucking did it, you know? And I fucking love seeing that. Like, I don't want people to have to hit that, you know? Like, I wish people would realize it more ahead of time. Like, that's one of my biggest things, is I wish people just hit it more ahead of time instead of waiting for you to get to that point. Because that was kind of like me, like, just, you know, not that long ago. It was just like, I felt like I'm not living what I truly believe I can do. You know, I'm not reaching my true potential, and all I'm doing is fucking basic shit, drinking every weekend, fucking being hungover. I want to build a business, but I'm getting hungover and drunk every fucking weekend. How can I do that? You know,
exactly.
My dreams and my goals and my actions, they don't align.
Right.
You know, so just finding that balance, making sure that, you know, you're happy, you're passionate, and you're doing what, you know, you truly feel that you want to do in your life. You only get one chance in this fucking life, bro. You only get one chance. And if you're not building towards whatever it is that you want to do, you don't get a second try once you're gone. You know,
exactly.
But you know, you went through your shit and you fucking came out the other side of it like a fucking monster. And I fucking love that. But I love to see our people fucking win. And the fact that you got through, you know, what you went through, and you fought back, and you just said, this is what I'm going to do, because this is what's going to make me fucking happy again, you know? and then you found somebody. Look, it's just going, like we were just talking earlier, the law of attraction, bro. Like it's crazy how that shit works, bro.
Yeah.
It's like you come out of that and then you just focus on what it is that makes you truly happy and passionate, and you just keep working towards that, and then it just seems like everything just starts falling into place, right? People start coming to your life that just help you on that journey, right? So you found Rita, you guys are doing all the things that you guys want to do. Then what? Then what? Like you guys went from going fucking hiking and all that stuff. Then you're fucking in Saipan doing calendars, and you're just doing photo shoots and doing video for the top brand back home. And then you're doing film festivals and stuff like that. Like, you imagine, bro, like this is crazy to think. Can you talk about like what that path, bro? Like that you went from that, right, with, you know, dealing with the depression and everything, and then you went to Saipan, like the whole well, where you started, you know, the hiking stuff and with, you know, that all that stuff, the content, and then to Saipan with the calendars, the fucking films and everything. Let's get into the photo shoot stuff with the, you know, tribe, but then the film stuff, bro. I want you to talk about your film stuff, because that was a big thing. Remember Me was big for you, and I just want you to talk about that, because you got to highlight that so people know what's up.
For sure. You know, when before I left here in Washington, before I left to Saipan in Washington, I was doing more photos. It was just a feeling that I got every time I snapped my camera. You know, every time I snapped a shot, there was a certain feeling of accomplishment, and I think that's why hiking was a big part of us, is because at the end of that, you know, after the journey, you know, like when you get to that top and you snap a picture of like that beautiful scenery, like there's a feeling that goes into that, right? And then when I went to Saipan and I started doing like more weddings and stuff, that's when like I really touched into the video side. And Saipan is where I really realized that my mind, when it came to creative filmmaking or videos, was very different from others. And I say that because for me, when I create videos, I thought it was I thought everybody does it, but I guess not. Like, I love to look for the music first before I shoot the content. And I thought everyone does that, but I guess it's not really a common thing. But I would listen to the music over and over and over, and when I say over and over again, it's crazy. Like, so one of my songs in the top playlist was a video that I created, and it came out in like my top 21 Spotify or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah. So when I got to Saipan, that's when like the video side, like I really honed. Like, I felt very different, and I'm not putting anybody down. I'm not putting any other creatives down. I just felt very different when it came to the videos, you know, the filmmaking side. But one of the reasons why I wanted to write Remember Me, and by the way, Remember Me is a short film that I wrote and produced. It's about a veteran tackling PTSD, inner demons kind of thing, you know. And I wanted to raise awareness in that, because when I got home, VA is non-existent there. You know, we have an outreach, but that outreach is if we're going through depression or whatever, and we have like a therapy session, that outreach is only there to put a screen in front of you, and then you're talking to your therapy on that screen.
That's not
for me. There's no connection there, you know. Like, and when I want to do a therapy session, I want you face to face with me. Like, I want to see us like build, you know, this relationship where I can trust you. I can't do that on the screen.
Human connection doesn't work like that.
So it was that was what really made me write the film Remember Me, because I wanted to raise awareness on that. So when I wrote Remember Me, bro, the music, how I chose the music was like this. It took me 3 days, like 3 days to freaking like get this music. I sat down, listened to what I think would feel good for the film, and then I chose about 20-ish songs on the first day. Second day, I dropped that down to 10, and then the third day, I dropped that down to 2. So there's literally only 2 songs that is plays throughout the whole film. And I listened to that over and over and over again. And then for me, like what's crazy about my mind, like I feel fucked up in a way is when I listen to this music, or like when I listen to the music or anything, there's always this, I'm already building a timeline in my head. Like a scene, like there's a scene flashing at this part of the song, there's a scene flashing at in this half of the song kind of thing. And that's literally how I created the film.
So your music inspires what you're gonna shoot and how. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's how I listened to music, and then that's how we went about shooting the film. And by the time we were done shooting it, the editing portion was like a little more easier because already the shots were in place. They were already like on the timeline. I knew exactly where it was gonna be. And when I created it, I didn't have, the only thing I wanted was to raise awareness, and someone recommended, hey, you should put this in the Guam International Film Festival. So I was like, oh yeah, sure. So I went online, I applied, and like a month later, like I got an email like, hey, congratulations, you've been officially selected to, and I was also a nominee for Best Made in Marianas for the 2019 Guam International Film Festival. And the only thing I wanted was that, and I was good. I wanted to gain the experience. So how the film festival is there's a panel of judges, and before the film festival, and they screen all the films that are nominated, or they applied, right? Like people that turned it in, and then they choose what they think is the best, and they break that down. So you can have like 200 films like come in, and you're breaking that down to less than 100. In this case, Guam International, I believe it was like 80. When you go to when you go to any film festival, they play your movie in the screen, and there's like a lot of people, and then after that they do a Q&A portion of it. And then after that you go on stage, and then the audience, they get to ask you questions about the film and all that. And so I ended up going to the Guam International Film Festival. It played in the screen. Unfortunately, we didn't get Best Made in Marianas, which is okay for me. I was already nominated for that's already freaking huge, So after the film, bro, like we have a video of it. One of my homies, like, they recorded like right after the film, and the amount of like cheering and that was happening was it blew my mind. I was like, damn, I would have never expected this. So right after the film, I got on the stage. They did a Q&A, and they got to the point where everyone was really talking really good about the film, and that was great. But the best experience, and experience that I hold dear to my heart in that film festival, was when a veteran came up and he cried and he hugged me on stage, bro, and he was like, thank you for this film. That already for me, I feel is the best accomplishment ever, because if for me, right, like if you can change one person, just one, you're already doing something, because that person can change somebody, and that person, it's a like a chain reaction pretty much. And bro, after that, like, I was like, oh shit, we accomplished, we're done. Fucking 1 month later, got an email like, hey, congratulations, you won Best of Festival. And I was like, what the fuck?
That's fucking tight.
Best of Festival, bro. We won Best of Festival out of 80 some films. That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. That's tough competition, bro. That's crazy. I fucking love that, bro. I love that shit.
Mind you, the film festival, like these films, they come from every portion of the world. This is an international film festival. They come from Indonesia, they come from Asia, they come from US, bro. They come from Europe.
So 85 was just that, but there was probably way more than that submitted.
There was probably way more submitted, and only those 85 were chosen. But yeah, bro, we won Best of Festival, and I was like, what the fuck? Bro. That's crazy.
Bro, yeah, and like you said, like that's a huge accomplishment that you won that. But that veteran coming up to you, because that was the goal of your whole thing, right? Bring that awareness, and then you actually had somebody, because a lot of times, bro, and it's like what we just talked about on the FICA podcast with Carl and Naki, bro. They were saying, a lot of times, like, people that do things like this, right? You go on your journey, right, and you follow your passion, and you tell about what you learned in your lessons, and basically your video or your film going out there and trying to raise awareness, a lot of time you don't hear back that thank you, that helped me.
Yeah.
You don't hear that. You know, there's it helped people, but you don't hear it. And to get that where somebody actually came up to you, bro, that is fucking that has to be the biggest thing. Like that
Yeah.
you could honestly, bro, like you just said, it's a chain reaction. Like you help that one man and you don't know what he's gonna do for the world after that. You don't know what he can do for his children. You don't know what he can do for his family, the people that he meets afterwards. Like you just never know, bro. And just to help somebody get through that, you know, you don't know what he's going through, but
Right.
your film helped him. And that's
Yeah.
fucking that is fucking amazing, bro. That
Man, even
ultimate goal, bro.
even when we showcased it in Saipan at the movie theater and also at American Memorial Park amphitheater, there when we turned on the lights, it was like holy shit. Like I was freaking out too, you know, like I'm not teasing or any other way, but like when we turned on the lights, there were like a lot of people that were crying.
A lot of
And
tears, yeah.
for me, that feels good because like I always thought myself, there's a little part of me in every film that I create. You know, there's a portion of me, whether it's the sad part, whether it's the happy portion of me, etc., whatever. And for that film to touch a lot of people, bro, that I felt like I can continue to do this and make people like feel, you know,
It's crazy because you were even saying there was not very many words in that film too.
It's all
mostly
quiet.
just,
It's mostly all quiet all the way to the end at the bar, but it's just like a small portion. We weren't even supposed to talk in that. But I don't know why. What was going through my head that we ended up just like talking. But we kept that in. We did keep that in. But now that I look back at it, it's not the best film I make. Like, you know, not with the experience that I gained. Like when I look back, I'm like, wow, we literally shot this in like less than 3 days, and we put this portion in less than a week, and we ended up like filming it like 3 weeks later, or like putting it in the theater kind of thing. And it was all fast, you know. It's like when we were like doing it. But I'll never take it back or regret it because of the emotions that, you know, people were feeling from that film. But yeah, that film made me realize that this is what I want to do. I want to go about creating videos where I put a portion of me in, but in every video that I make, I want people to feel the fuck out of it. You know what I mean? Like emotional wise, whatever emotions are running through the video, I want you to like feel it, you know?
I think that's a huge, I think your method of like selecting the music too helps with that, pulling that emotion from the crowd. You know what I mean? Because I feel like music, man, that music will pull emotion already, you know? And then on top of that, you layer your story with it. Oh yeah, you're going to get a reaction out of it. That's
in the filmmaking portion, bro, like the music literally makes or breaks your video. Like literally. Literally in any video that you're trying to create, bro, the music literally like makes or breaks your video. It's how you go about like what emotions you want in that video, but music is a huge part.
I made a little reunion video for my wife's side of the family for her my father-in-law's side, and it was funny because I did the very kind of a similar thing. I had a song that I heard a while ago, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to use that song in this video, and my goal is to make these guys cry when they see it. No joke, bro. All of them cried when they watched the video. You know, it was only like a little 10-minute kind of family reunion video, but yeah, that's why when you started talking about that, I was like, yeah, that's definitely huge. That plays a huge
for
role
sure.
too.
And then and then there's just certain times where like when it comes to a song, it will just randomly play, and I'm like, holy fuck, I like this. I like this music, you know. And then I listen to it like constantly. So one of the next films we made, which is more of like the creative side, right? It's not really like a film. It's the song is called "Don't Wanna Lose You," and I felt that song, and the way I created that video is how I see Rita through my eyes. Don't want to lose you, right? So when it's going on, when it starts to play, bro, you're gonna hear the music, and then you're gonna hear like a lot of like movie quotes from like love, romantic, you know. And even that when I made that, because that was the second film that I actually like made that's more like a film. It was like a 3-minute ish, the whole music. people were like, "Holy shit, this is fire! This is
Yeah.
so good!" You know, like people were enjoying it, and that's what I wanted. Like that,
Yeah.
I dead ass wanted that shit. So
Yeah.
I kept creating. The more I did, more I find music, I created, and
Bro.
yeah. So
So I just do like I do content for Niche and Bill, right? Like I just put some content together whenever, and I usually I like to repurpose like our YouTube videos and stuff like that, or use that to share the message and stuff like that. Reels and TikToks and stuff. That's all big now, right? So, but I can only imagine like how I feel about some of the little reels that I put together. Like, oh, that's pretty tight. This is cool. And then it's like
Yeah.
going back and forth, right? Like, cause like I've said this before, where sometimes you put like a reel together, and it's like, oh, this is tight. I think a lot of people are gonna like this. Post it.
And then
Nobody
nothing.
likes that shit, bro. Like it's like there's no attention on it, right?
You're like, oh damn.
Yeah, like that one.
Yeah.
But then there's sometimes where you put something together, and like, oh, I just need to post something today. I just need to get something out, and then it's like,
That one
oh
takes off.
fucking, it takes off. Like, what the hell just happened? Like, you just thought it was just something.
Yeah.
I just need to get just posting and getting content out. But like, I can only imagine like, or can you like tell us how you feel, bro? Like when you're putting films together. It's a long process. It's not me sitting for half an hour or an hour putting a fucking reel together. It's a long process of you putting these things together. Like after you put all these different, all this different media together, how does it make you feel when you see the finished product and then you see the reaction of your audience? Like what do you get out of it? And like, just how does that make you feel when you're done with that whole process?
Yeah. So I first of all, I feel fucking accomplished when I create anything, because when I create something, it's through the heart. It's through what I'm feeling.
You're expressing yourself.
Yeah, I'm expressing myself pretty much. Sometimes I don't get the reactions that I want, like when it comes to the video, and that was early on when I first started like doing a lot of like films and
That's what I was going to ask you earlier. What about the opposite of that?
Yeah. I didn't really the reactions when I first started. Some I didn't get, and I'm like, man, fuck, what did I do wrong? Like, but I realized that the more I thought of it that way, the more depressed I felt. Like I started straying away from my creative side.
Yeah.
And for me, that's the most important for me, in my opinion, right? For myself. My creative side is the most important to me because that's what keeps me happy.
Yeah.
So now when I make videos or I create videos, I don't really, not that I don't care for the reactions, but I just care more for how I feel when I make that.
Fuck
you know.
Yeah.
So when I create something, I'm so fucking happy, and I stay happy. If somebody doesn't like it or someone like says something about it, it doesn't bug me, because at the end of the day, I don't do it for you anymore. I'm doing it for myself, because that's what keeps me happy, and it keeps me in check. So now I don't really care. Like if I create something and I post it up and it doesn't get likes, I don't get the comments and stuff. I don't, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah. So like, and I'm fucking glad that's, what you brought up, because that's called Kaizen, right? So you're process driven, you're not results driven, right? So, and that's what me and Mark talk about that shit. And I always tell him, it's like, bro, the grind is not going to stop. It doesn't matter like whether you get the results or not, right? Like we focus on going through the process, doing the day to day, handling everything. Whether you make, reach those results of everybody, it doesn't matter if you make a post and you get 200 likes. A lot of people don't realize a post that gets 10 likes and a post on social media that gets 300 likes, that does not translate into sales. Like you don't know what that looks like when something's being sold, right? Like when it comes to MB. Oh, yeah. So going along the process is like way more important. I love this shit. I love doing what we do. I love the message that we spread, and I love going about this process, building myself, growing as a person, as an entrepreneur. And that's basically what you're talking about, right? You're talking about, you love the process of doing what you do. And I love the process of doing what we do. It's not about making a bunch of money. It's not about, even though we hope at someday, we're big enough to, just because it's spreading that bigger message, right? Spreading that message, the more people that know about it, the more our message can sit with more people, right? And it's about going through all this and learning, because it's a constant fucking learning process, bro. Like there's so much that every day I'm learning something new. Every day something's messed up and we got to figure it out, like there's always something. So it's all about the process. It's all about going through it, because there's always going to be something new. There's always going to be something. There's always going to be a new way you can express yourself. You're always going to figure something else out that you can reach your audience, and it's not about whether people like it or not. There's always going to be somebody that's going to like it, right?
Yeah.
Is everything you put out is not going to be for everyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's always going to be something that sits with certain people. And there's going to be that could be that same stuff that just doesn't sit with other people, and it's just part of the process, right? It's just part of the process. But go here. We need to talk about the wins, bro. We gotta talk about the wins. Let's talk about the fucking big win, because you've gone all these years doing all of this, and it's fucking big time that this is what it's gotten to for you, and you have to fucking talk about it.
I'll talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I get it, a little bit.
Man, in this industry, right, when it comes to creative, I mean, like anything entrepreneurs, like you should always have it in the back of your mind that things are 50-50. It's a risk. 50% it's gonna work, 50% it's not gonna work. But you always have to have that in the back of your head. For the longest time, like a lot of the sacrifices that I made, I'm so happy for Rita too, because she's been at my side the whole time, every time I travel, and it's for the past 3 years I've been traveling, going back and forth, and I'll talk about how it led me to this day.
Yeah.
So when I left Saipan after that 2-year mark, because I already I said that I was gonna stay in Saipan for 2 years, gain the experience. So every goal that I set for myself in Saipan, I accomplished everything. So I felt there was no more growth for me in Saipan. But what's crazy is the opportunity in Saipan was there for me to take. It was always there. So when I left, American Memorial Park reached out to me through the National Park Foundation and National Park Service, that they wanted to create a woman documentary for American Memorial Park. It's like wartime for the women that survived World War II back home. So I went back to Saipan again for we were shooting for 6 months. Editing took a year or so, and then I was like, yeah, fuck, okay, all right, it's time to come back. And then before I was coming back, I was reached out through the office of the governor, like for a meeting, that they were opening up a new department called the media team, and they wanted me to come in and help build that, from scratch. So that was an opportunity, and I had to take it. Like, yeah, I had to take it. It's a love-hate relationship, like I love what I'm doing, like I love that my passion is something that I'm working, so it doesn't feel like I'm working. But it's also a hate relationship because it's political. So it's like people that you don't think hate you end up hating you, kind of thing.
They feel like you're on that side.
You know what I mean? But that never bothered me, because for me it was a passion. It's like I'm here for like I'm here to hone my skills. I'm trying to build what I want to build, and then randomly I got an email from NBC, actually I think they're the number one biggest network in the US, if I'm not mistaken. They reached out to me saying, hey, they're about to shoot the American Song Contest season. We have a contestant from Saipan, and we're looking for a field director to direct over there. And so I ended up shooting for NBC.
Oh shit! I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
crazy.
Who's who's the?
It was
he's from here in Washington.
Yeah, he's from here, Sabiu.
Sabiu, there you go. Yeah, Sabiu. They used to perform right here in Kent, bro.
Oh damn.
Yeah. I know. I've seen a lot of his content.
Yeah, so they flew him down, and I shot it for, I think we shot for 2 days, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, man. And when the season came out and we saw the episode, and we're like, I'm freaking out. Like we're all freaking out. Like imagine that, like a small town freaking filmmaker, freaking on the big screen, And when they showed that, I was proud, bro. Like I felt so accomplished. Like that was the best thing, knowing that we're showcasing the islands to millions of people, tens of millions of people that are watching, and what they're seeing is what I shot.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's badass.
That's fucking solid, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I ended up getting that, bro, and yeah, through after that, man, we ended up getting I ended up winning the Humanities Council award, for pretty much for filmmaking, just keeping the yeah, for filmmaking back home. And that's the governor's award, so that's one of the biggest award that you can get back home. So that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that felt really good.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I stuck to myself, bro. I started grinding kind of quietly. I enjoy it more that way. Like, so when I post stuff on like Instagram or stuff, like, or whatever on Facebook. Actually, I don't even use Facebook, so I'm not.
Yeah.
It's pretty much just Instagram. The way I did it was when I was when I was in Saipan, I would post stuff that I shot in Washington, and then when I'm here in Washington, I would post stuff in Saipan because I want I want my haters to keep guessing what the fuck I'm doing. You know what I mean? And so
they're
I
always
keep them
behind.
guessing. They're always behind. They're
That's
always.
fucked up. I'm not even a hater, but I was guessing, bro. I swear, this guy told me he was coming out, bro, and then I'm seeing he's posting. He's inside. I'm like, the fuck? I thought you were already here, bro.
Yeah, I try to keep them 10 steps behind me.
Yeah.
So they don't have anything to talk about.
And it's crazy though, all the stuff that you've already accomplished that they're still hating. It's like,
and that's okay. That's like, for me, that's a motivation as well. But now it's just more so I do everything for my inner peace, and then yeah, during my tenure at the office of the governor, we had this guy, Brad Cravoy, executive producer, the number one producer for anything Christmas related, Christmas films related. All his films are like on Netflix, Amazon Prime, etc. You can look it up. And then he did one movie in Guam
I saw that.
called Christmas Drop.
Yeah, I saw
Oh,
that.
Yeah, so he was the executive producer for that, if I'm not mistaken. And then yeah,
so wait,
I had a chance.
The one that reached out to you?
Yeah, so I talked to him. So when he came, when he came to Saipan to talk about like the film industry and stuff, I had a chance to like talk to him and to his crew.
Yeah.
I was more so like intrigued with how do you go about making films and then putting it into Netflix or Amazon Prime. Like, how does that work? Because I'm more like, that's what I want to know. Like, I don't want like to say, yeah, I'm gonna make this big ass film and then Netflix is gonna take it. Like, because I know that's not the process. Like, there has to be something, and yeah, and he was talking something about like the distribution phase, and the distribution is huge. That's like huge. So yeah, I was like, man, fuck. Like, I don't know anybody in the industry that's gonna, like, gonna take me there.
Yeah.
But after the governor lost, like, my tenure too ended as well, and during that time, I had a meeting. Like, we had meetings with that guy, Brad Cravoy, me, him, John, CEO of like Bridge Capital and stuff, and they were intrigued with how like I thought about like filmmaking and stuff, and and I learned a lot there too. Like, like, I've been doing this for years, but I'm still learning something new. And when I sat down with them, what was crazy was when they were talking to me about it is everything that I create is all just, so there's two creative sides. There's the dark creative and there's the light creative. And everything I created was from the dark side. So for that stems from my depression, stems from emotions. So for me, it's very easy. Like, if I wanted to create something and I'm feeling some type of way, I can just go into something and I'll create it, and no problems. Like, I'm not gonna have an issue with that. But they're like, you honed your dark creative side, but you're not honing your like light side. So in essence, what they told me is like, try and build into the light side. Like, that's what you need to do. Is really focus on the brighter side. And then I was like, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. I think that would be easy. But when I tried to write something like that was nothing but happy, it's
was
like
tough.
I felt I didn't know what I was doing,
Yeah.
and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
So
so crazy.
yeah, so that really opened up my eyes to everything that I created, because everything I created was through the emotions, but now like I'm trying to focus more on the happy side of it.
Mhm.
So and I was able to write something. Hopefully, like, I can give it to them and they're like, hey, we like this. Maybe
Yeah.
we can shoot this as a film.
Yeah.
No, but anyways, kind of getting off topic, I know, but yeah, so we had a couple of meetings and stuff, and yeah, man, I'm not gonna say too much about it, but I'll be in Thailand for 1 month, and we'll go from there.
Fucking winning, baby.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, bro. Hey, congratulations, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck
That's
you, bro.
awesome, dude.
I fucking love when our people win, bro. I
Yeah.
fucking love it, bro. All the shit you've been doing, everything that you went through, just think about it, bro. You just go back and fucking look at where you at now.
Yeah, bro, and it's been a long time, a long process. It was hard. The sacrifices that I made with Rita, like, and even like there's times too that I wanted to fucking give up
Oh, yeah.
because I didn't see any progress. But like I keep myself like attached and be like, there's progress. It may not come today, it may not come tomorrow, but it's gonna fucking come.
Yeah,
Baby steps, like
Yeah.
one step at a time kind of thing. And just to see where we started in 2018 to now, it's like, wow, baby, the progress was there.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
always been there.
Yeah.
We've been building to this day, and I'm not gonna take it for granted. And I'm hoping that the going out to Thailand and like helping, it's like I hope that there's gonna be more to that. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take it for granted. I'm gonna think this is a one and done kind of thing. So when I go out there, it's just all grind, baby.
Yeah. Take in as much
Yeah.
as you fucking
Taking
can.
as much
Yeah.
as I can, soak in as much experience as I can, and ask questions that I can't ask anywhere else, because these
Yeah.
are executive producers, these are
Yeah.
directors, these
Yeah.
are,
Yeah.
DPs, director of photography and cinematographers. I want to ask all the fucking questions. But I hope that when I go out there, the grind doesn't stop, and I'm hoping for something bigger too. So,
Bro.
we'll see.
That's dope.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
First
Thank you.
off, but this is only the fucking beginning, baby. It's
Hell
only
yeah.
the beginning, bro.
Hell
It's
yeah.
fucking day one again. You're gonna fucking get out there, do your thing, and
Hell yeah.
something more's gonna come. You already know it. It's fucking the law of attraction. You do your thing, you spread good vibes. It's your energy that's gonna bring whatever it is that you fucking want, bro. You know it. You
Hell yeah.
fucking know it. It's day one. Bro. Fucking congrats, bro. I'm fucking
Thank
happy
you,
for
thank
you.
you.
That's no fucking doubt about it. I'm fucking happy for you. But last fucking question. You done all this shit, right?
Mhm.
And one day you're gonna leave this earth, bro. It's all done. It's all, your time here is just finished. How do you want to be remembered?
Through my films. I've always said it before. I feel like when I leave, right, everything that I create, I want people to feel it. I've always said it from the get go. Anything that I make is a little piece of me. So when you watch it, you're gonna feel a little piece of me, whatever emotions that may be.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, when I leave, there's gonna be this book with so many films or so many like stuff that I wrote. And when I die, I want somebody to take that book and turn it into films or some videos. So
Hell
Yeah.
yeah, bro.
That's
Hell yeah.
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I just want to be that guy, pretty much, that was able to change one person's life.
Yeah.
And that matters the most to me.
Yeah.
Because if I can change one, then we can change everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chain reaction.
Hey, you guys fucking heard it. You heard it. He's doing it, man, and I love it. I've known him for a long time, and just to see my people win, man, and see them grind and reaping what they sow, for real, right? Like you put in the work all those fucking years, and then but you're just starting out to reach that fucking that moment where you always wanted it, but then I know when you get there, bro, you're gonna be like, oh, there's so much fucking more. Man.
Yeah,
There's so
hell
much
yeah.
more, bro, and I fucking can't wait to see what else fucking comes from you, bro. And I'm fucking excited. Thank you so much, bro, for taking the time out, coming and
Sure.
doing it, and telling your stories, and letting everybody know what you've been doing. And wait, but you had anything to say to your haters? Just let them know you can go and do that here, bro.
Nah, I'm gonna let my work speak for itself.
There
so.
we go. That's what I'm talking about, baby. We just work. We just work. Hey, thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you guys. We love you. And you heard it from the man himself, man. You just got to go through it, and there's times you want to quit, but as long as you keep grinding, you know, you never know what's on the other side of that next day. Just keep going, one day at a time, one day at a time. Keep stacking, little wins, baby.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate you guys. Love you. See you on the next one.